about 10 minutes, but all the same, I mean, there's always something that we can talk about that is very, very important, especially when it comes to the question of finances and, for that matter, credit. Credit is crucial. I remember there's a time here we were talking about good debt and bad debt, and we realized over time that it's pretty much hard for one to survive or one to make great progress in life in terms of, just having advancement in life without incurring some essence of credit. And therefore, I have a credit specialist, and that is the director, GOtv Credit, Peter Masharia, for this very conversation. Much focus on the new era that is at this point of a shift in governance, and more so for the SMEs. I remember they used to say, Peter, that during the Kibaki time, it was pretty much easy for people to access credit. And that is why we saw, a lot of emancipation and vibrancy in the economic sector, because people could go borrow and, you are able to access a loan pretty much fast. Within no time, you set up a business, you pay the loan, you service the loan, somebody else is able to get the money, and there was flow of cash. A new era for SMEs when we're talking about the bottoms up, and not to tell you to campaign for this economic model.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and thank you to our viewers for inviting me to these studios and to your studios today.
Thank you.
And right on to the topic, a new era for SMEs. Well, it's true there was that during Kibaki's time, the economy and the flow of business transactions and the environment was excellently, very, very conducive for business. However, under the new era, we are yet to see the new promises or the actualization of the new promises. And as an SME in Kenya, we have very high expectations because of the promises that we got from the president-elect and the deputy president-elect. And at that point, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and congratulate them for being elected president, and for the deputy president being elected deputy president. And
before we get into details of the same, perhaps I think it has been unfair for me to, first of all, just get you in without you telling us what exactly then GOtv Credit does, because we have all this credit, bodies left, right, and center, and sometimes we really don't tend to understand just what, first of all, credit is all about, the importance of, having loans or getting yourself into loans, the fears that come along with that, the pluses that come along with that, and how then one gets themselves into the space of credit without risking a financial crisis. This is one of the key things that we seek to understand from you, so that even as we have very many people who want to get into the SME world or are in the SME world and would want to advance their businesses, would want to advance their financial capabilities, then we have proper understanding of what it is that they get themselves into. First of all, GOtv Credit.
Yes. GOtv Credit is a deposit-taking microfinance that was incorporated in the year 2014. We've been around for 8 years, and we've been serving more than 90% of our customers are SMEs, and that's why we are very well versed to talk about SMEs, because we understand their problems and we give them solutions to their financial challenges. Yes.
All right, that's good. And so in this space of credit, and especially now that we focus on the SMEs in the shortest time that we have, many of them have businesses, especially after COVID-19.
Yes.
The SMEs were hugely affected. The country at large is reeling economically. If we were to look at the next dispensation, and even without the next dispensation, what will it take for us to stay afloat? And also, I know very well that if SMEs then do not knock the doors of those ones that offer credit, then it becomes a tough moment for you business-wise.
That's true, that actually we are facing a very major challenge financially, but the beauty of it, it's worldwide. If you look at Britain, the superpowers, America, they are all facing similar challenges, or a bit, or rather, our challenges could be huge because we are still developing, and we didn't have financial reserves to cushion us on those challenges. What we need to do to face those challenges and overcome them is that we need to bring on board good experts, work with the ones who are already there, because you cannot usher in a new government and then you remove the existing financial experts that are offering the or who are holding the fort.
Yeah.
So you need to blend old and new, so that the new can come with new ideas and see whether they can be incorporated to the existing methods and ways of trying to help the SMEs and the country to overcome the financial challenges. Well, it's a huge task before us because we are also having a very huge debt of around 8 trillion.
As a country?
As a country,
yes.
We're also having challenges in the cost of fuel. And there's a very high level of unemployment. And the only sector that can help the government in absorbing the high number of youths that are in unemployment, unemployed, is the SMEs, because the government cannot employ everybody. So the other numbers, or more than 50% of the people who are employed by the SMEs. Yes. Yeah.
All right, and so in aligning themselves to what will be the possibility of advancements that will be brought aboard by the new era, what are some of the things that they need to do? Because we understand the space is not good. You cannot always bank on what it is that the politician says, because after all, the politician will speak. How do they align themselves to stay afloat?
Maybe the first thing that they need to do is look at the cost of credit. And that one will entail maybe talking to the banks to reduce the cost of credit, because even us as a micro lender, we borrow from the local banks.
Right.
If the interest rate is high, we also increase the rate. But if the interest rate is low, we are also able to extend the same benefit to our borrowers. And by and large, if the interest rate is reduced, once the cost of credit is low, the cost of doing business will equally be low. And it goes without saying that the SMEs will get more capital, they will employ more people, they will be able to pay more taxes, there will be more money flowing within the economy. And in that way, everybody will be smiling on to the bank. Yes, the government and the SMEs. Yes.
All right, and when you speak about micro lending and all that, so in essence, when the interest rates are high, again, it reels you down. It also brings you down as a business.
Yes.
It's in your interest to have the interest rates low, because then if somebody is borrowing from you, then you want the rates high so that you make more money, or?
No. What happens? Our rates or charges are mirrored
by the bank
against the bank charges,
right,
or bank interest rates. So currently the banks are lending at maybe around 2% per month. So equally, on the flip side, we add a markup of 2 or 3%. So if at all they can reduce to 1%, you see, we'll also be able to extend the same benefit to our consumers, and we might lend at 3% or even 2%. Yeah, so that benefit, that advantage of lower interest, is extended to the consumers and our customers, and it goes a long way to create a very vibrant economy. Yes.
Why should one go to the micro lenders bit as opposed to going straight to the bank?
Well, there are so many reasons. Number one is financial illiteracy, because you find that most SMEs don't keep proper records.
Right.
And banks are very keen on records, financial records. So that helps them to appraise the customer and know how much to lend. As we are a bit lax in that line, we don't...
Is that not a risk?
Well, it's not a risk per se, because what we do, we look at the M-Pesa statement. Banks don't look at M-Pesa statements.
All right.
But as we go to that lower level and analyze the M-Pesa statement, which now gives us a true picture of the amount of money that the borrower, the micro, small and medium enterprise borrower can get. Yes.
Do they have to be a member of Jijenge Credit, or it's just open to anyone, that I can knock your offices today and I'm able to access a few thousands, perhaps to start business? Or do I have to give a reason as to why I am taking some loan from you?
For you to access a loan from us at Jijenge Credit, you don't need to be a member. We don't ask for any deposit, we don't ask for any charge, we don't ask for any commission or whatever from any loan applicant. And we serve all Kenyans, irrespective of whether you have an SME, you are employed, or you are a farmer. All Kenyans are our customers. And that is a great advantage, because ordinarily you find that for you to access loans from other organizations, they will ask you for some fees, some commission.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this case, when you say that, then I march to your office, or there's some online arrangement as to us having this conversation, and then for you to actualize the process or the loan process?
For you to access a loan, you can apply online. You can apply through our email, which is info@jijengecredit.com, or you visit our website. You see an application form. Once you fill it and submit, we receive it and respond. Or you can physically walk to our offices at Kaunda Street Townhouse, Nairobi. Yes.
Does it matter the location?
The location? No. We are able
as long as you're across
within the borders,
part within Kenya.
Within Kenya.
Right.
Whether you're in Wajir, Kisumu, Meru, or wherever, Mombasa, we are able to serve you. Once you apply, our sales team will get in touch with you. They will ask you for a few documents which you can send via WhatsApp, via email, or via courier. Once we get the necessary documentation, especially the KYC documents, we are good to go. Yes.
If we have relaxed demands for people to access these loans, then we want to assume most of them are short-term loans and also not of great amounts?
Yes. Our loans are short-term. The maximum period is 2 years. Repayment period is 2 years.
So that could be a lump sum of amounts. It's not. The typical ones that we have, the digital lending platforms. Okay.
It's not like digital lending, but you see, banks give longer than that. They can even give you a loan for 25 years. The maximum amount we give is 2 years. That's the maximum repayment period, and the minimum amount is 50,000, all the way to around 10 million. Anything more than that, we take you to our bank.
And so in this case then, that is sliced bit by bit for, it's spread across the 2 years.
Yes.
That is the form of payment.
Exactly.
What is the future of this space of micro lenders? Because then Kenyans are getting themselves deep into it in a very dangerous way. Sometimes a majority of you will tell you that people disappear with the monies without having to pay for them. So what's the process of due diligence and assurance that there's a future in this space of micro lenders?
Well, the future for micro-lending is very bright, because it's one of the key aspects for any vibrant economy.
Okay.
Because not all borrowers can fit into the banking system. As I've just told you earlier, the main challenge in the African, not only Kenyan setup, is Africa-wide challenge is financial illiteracy, which means that very few Kenyans are well versed with financial matters, borrowing, how to manage their business and all that. And the organizations that are helping that line of finance to deepen the financial aspect is the micro lenders, because you'll find us in the villages, you'll find us in markets, you'll find us in all the spaces where money transactions can be done. And the future is bright. It's something that we can never wish away. You go to America, there are still micro lenders, even in Europe, even in developed world. In Europe, they call themselves per day loans, because you borrow and pay within the day.
Okay.
As opposed to micro lenders.
In the morning, and you do whatever it is that you do.
Yes.
In the course of the day, if you've made an extra, you pay.
Because ordinarily in Europe, the cash inflows are very high.
Yes.
And you might find most people there have 2 jobs.
Okay.
So you might find that the inflows of cash is quite high, so you don't need long-term loans. But in our setup, we do monthly repayments or weekly or quarterly, depending on the income structure of each borrower. Yes.
And I feel like this is a line we need to expound some more on for the people of Kenya to understand, but unfortunately time is not on our side. A bit of a quick one, but pretty much has helped us understand some more on the question of the space of micro lending. And therefore, Peter Macharia, I hope that someday then I'll invite you again so that we can unpack this further and perhaps even look at the future of the same space also for you and for every other people who would want to come in then to borrow from this. Of course, looking forward to have you some other time. We have to close it, not in totality. We still have so much lined up for you right here on right here on TV47. So make sure that you do not turn that dial. Asante sana, Peter Macharia, Director Jijenge Credit. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. My name is Linda Alela. Do enjoy you.